This is where I usually sit and conduct my business. You can see I have my business all around me.
I like this. Yeah.
It's some people worry it's maybe a toxic mess, but it's all paper, so it can't be.
And you probably know where everything is.
I pretty much, yeah. I rarely am in a situation where I can't find something. So it's a collection of things. A lot of it's student papers from ages of having students. And they don't often come back to get them. So I'm going through these. That's the recent set of papers from last semester, and I've started going through those to pull things for students I see who are still around, and take it to them. Some of them are still in, have gone into my next class, so I've got them in class. I can find them. I found the Love at First Bite thing to help me organize for my classes that I'm currently doing. The Chinese shirt is because I do Tai Chi stuff, and so that's my red Chinese shirt. Very popular in China, red. It's actually a luck color. I didn't know that before I'd gone to China. Oh, we like it because it's lucky. Oh, I thought it was because it was communist. No. We like it because it's lucky. The communists pick it because, they say, well, it's lucky. So, same sort of thing, I guess.
Go ahead.
We just voted for either Donald Trump, Hillary Clinton, or Jill Stein.
You forgot Gary Johnson.
Or Gary Johnson.
I'm going to just say right now I didn't vote for Gary Johnson. I feel very good about my vote. I feel like I made a small part of history today.
After many months of campaigning.
That's right, after many months of campaigning.
How do you think it's going to affect our country?
I think if Trump wins, I think we could be in for a very unpleasant 4 years. But I feel like if Hillary wins, things will kind of continue on as they have been.
Do you think if Trump wins, there'll be a noticeable difference in the first 6 months?
I think it's probably going to take longer than that for the full impact of his win to really sink in. But I think it's possible we could see a change in people's attitudes so that people feel like it's more okay to treat people badly.
Regarding the humanities, how do you think that his presidency will affect the humanities, or will it at all?
I feel like Trump is not really going to be a friend to the humanities because I think it's in his best interest for people not to think critically. So I think anything that helps education is not going to be high on his list of things to do.
And really anybody that thought critically, if we were thinking critically, he wouldn't even be a candidate.
No, he wouldn't. And I think if people knew their history better, they'd see that a vote for him is a vote for fascism. So why would anybody deliberately vote for that?
And I'm sure there's probably, his staff is already coming up with a list of books to ban.
Probably. And maybe they could make the Art of the Deal required reading in all classrooms.
And the edited Holy Bible.
That's right. The one where 2 Corinthians has an extra big chapter heading.
And we're just going to throw out the New Testament.
That's right.
Because, that peace and love shit is no good.
Yeah, that all belongs in the burning camp.
That's right. And that's for losers.
That's right.
How do you think a Trump campaign will affect minorities in their lives here in this country?
Truthfully, I'd be scared if I were a minority right now. I guess technically as a woman I am, although women are, at least population-wise, a majority. But I think for racial minorities and possibly for women, I think we're going to see that things will become harder in this country.
How do you think a Hillary presidency will make the lives of women better?
Well, I think she'll continue to support a woman's right to choose, so I think that's always a good thing, and I think she'll fight for wage equity, and fairness in hiring and paying practices. I think she'll support better family leave, paid time, healthcare, things that are beneficial to women.
It would just be an overall positive administration for women.
I think so, and I think there's an inspiration factor too that little girls growing up will know that now they too can be president, and that's not off the table to them, just because they're girls.
And there's also the chance of an Obama Supreme Court nomination.
That's right, and he would also help support healthcare decisions that would be important to women.
And it seems like Obamacare would be altered, but in a better way.
Yeah, I think so, since that was originally something she was working on during Bill Clinton's presidency.
And also
She's got a solid background.
She would have Bill Clinton as a sounding board.
That's right.
And also Hillary's not going to disassemble policies that have been fought for hundreds of years.
No, I don't think she will. And I think she'll keep all the best parts of Obama's policies.
Whereas Trump would start dismantling safety nets, just things we take for granted.
And I think a big part of why he would do it would be just because it was from Obama.
Right.
Not even necessarily that he thought there was anything wrong with it, but just to be spiteful.
It seems like it would take a lot for his supporters to rise up and say enough.
Mm-hmm. I hope that they would, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure they would even know where to start.
It's kind of sad, but I guess, if Newt Gingrich wants to stump for the humanities, I'm all for it.
Well, Newt's an author also. He's
That's true. That's true. I don't know if I would call literature what he produces, but yeah, it's something written anyway.
I guess I'm going to ask everybody just a basic question. Just what are the humanities?
What aren't the humanities? But the traditional humanities are those things that are the passions we have for life beyond work. They're not approached as a science, though they are disciplines. And as a discipline, there's a kind of a habit of mind. There's a necessity of applying oneself to it. There's rigor in the humanities. It's not just all sorts of floating around and reciting poetry without actually knowing what you're doing. A dramatist or a good artist or a good musician, musicians must practice. You have to certainly know your instrument and how you can make the music happen. I think that we tend to think of these as sort of soft studies because they don't have numbers in them. But you ask a really world-class musician what has to happen to make that music, what goes into that, and it's not slight. It's huge what has to happen. There's a lot of effort that goes into it. I think that's true for writers, certainly. Writers whom I've met, and I've met quite a few, are people who slave away at it. They recognize that it's hard work. There's a poem by Yeats in which he says that this writing is often credited as something else by the business world, but that for us it's very hard work. You go down on your knees, day by day, slaving away at this stuff. To write is difficult. But saying that is not to say that it's not enjoyable too. I mean, I think we find a great deal of enjoyment out of our studies in the humanities. It appeals to our minds and how we think through things. Gives us lots of, and I hesitate to use it because it sounds like it's one of those soft things, but it's essential play. It's essential play, and if we don't play, if we aren't playful in our thoughts, we aren't actually able to then find new things that we can discover as great truths. That the playfulness is a necessary component. So I guess that's one thing I would say is true about the humanities, is that it is a playful study. Playful in a serious way, though, not in a goofy, slack, lackadaisical way. It's a serious play. And it is play that is necessary, because without it we would be less human. It helps us with our recognition of our own essential humanity.
I'm what hey, I do know this word. I'm what they call a gourmand. John didn't even hear it. John always tells me all the words I don't know. Isn't there such a word as a gourmand, John?
Gourmand.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Vermont?
I might have it wrong, I don't, I thought.
Everybody, my name is Scott Vanderploeg, and I'm a literature professor, and I wanted to provide you guys with a sense of what literary footprint there is for eclipses. What have authors, poets, playwrights done with these things? And some of it is not a great deal, but there are some significant instances, and some of it mirrors some of the historical material you just heard about. I wrote a paper for the Kentucky Philological Association, met in March, and it's on this eclipse issue. I'm just going to read a portion of that, and then I'm going to do a cutting from a work of literature which works with the eclipse. So, I entitled this Darkness Visible Eclipses in Literature. But before I do that, how about a song? The other night, dear, as I lay sleeping, I dreamed I held you in my arms. But when I woke, dear, I was mistaken. So I hung my head and cried. You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy, the skies are gray. You'll never know, dear, how much I miss you. Please don't take my sunshine away. Which is the point of the